Well, we've now seen play boosters in action. Did Wizards really screw it up that bad? Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we're going to sit down. I didn't feel like resetting up the setup, so we're going to sit down and talk about the Play Booster Box experience. If you want to chat about all this stuff, head on over to the Discord server at KitchenTableTCG.com. It is free to be part of the Discord, and it's a great community to hang out in and chat about all things TCGs. Yeah, so Play Booster Boxes. We had this past weekend our pre-release at Game Grove. We had a lot of fun. We had like 34 players, something like that. Definitely less hype and excitement than Ixalan. At Ixalan, we almost hit 50 players. So seeing 34 players was a little disappointing, but I wasn't that surprised because the excitement and hype level for this set wasn't quite where Ixalan was anyway. But it was the first experience with Play Booster Boxes, okay? So if you didn't know this, let me catch you up. At the end of the year last year, they announced that Murders at Karlov Manor would be the first set that gets rid of draft and set boxes and combines them into one Play Booster Box experience for the consumer, and those boxes will be used for both draft, and then they're meant to be used as set boxes too. They're meant to do the same thing that the set boxes did. And you guys know I like this idea as a retailer. I think it's really good. Less SKUs is a good thing. Less different boxes on the shelf is a good thing. From a store perspective, it means that I don't have to have a shelf space for draft booster boxes. I don't have to make sure I have draft boxes in inventory to run events. I can just utilize the one box, and it just works better. It's just a better thing from a store perspective for inventory and having money and capital and things. But from a perspective of a consumer, we had a lot of pushback on this because they went to 36-pack play boosters, whereas set boxes were 30 packs. So the price point of these things was increased by about $30, roughly $5 per pack. From the distribution level, it was increased in the same kind of percentages. So where this lines up is that our play boosters in our store went from being $125 set boxes to $155 play boosters because of those extra 6 packs. And then you have this whole other experience on the backside of actually playing. Like the pre-release kits didn't come with draft booster packs, they came with play booster packs. So where did this work out? What was the big issue? And here's what I think. Oh, this is so frustrating. Wizards really screwed this up. This should have been a really good thing, but unfortunately, they picked the absolute wrong set to put this in. The absolute wrong conditions of the game to put this in. Murders at Karlov Manor, it's not very good. Like it's just too convoluting and confusing for the average player. For the casual Magic player, this set was too confusing to also add in this additional play booster change. A much better world would have been play boosters come out with Lost Caverns of Ixalan, a set that was so much fun. Everybody was excited for. The value was baked in. There was tons of good reprints. There was a really on the ground level, very easy sealed limited experience, very fun limited experience, very straightforward limited experience. To then add in those changes of the list slot and the special guest slot, stuff like that, into the drafting experience or into the limited play experience. Lost Caverns would have been such a successful transition point for play boosters. But instead, we put it at Murders of Karlov Manor, where if you haven't read the cards, they're just so confusing. And you need all these tokens, and you need, what are the tokens? You need the cloak and disguise tokens, you need all these different things that then the play booster box didn't really have as much of that stuff that they needed in it. So these are the biggest complaints that I've heard going into play boosters. And it's really interesting because the biggest complaints that I've heard on the ground floor at an LGS level is not about money. The same people who typically buy booster boxes, set box, they all bought a play booster box. It didn't change our typical sales level experience at Game Grove, at least. People who bought set boxes of Ixalan, who were excited just to open up boxes, still bought boxes. The price point isn't what has changed people's experience here. The things that people are complaining about are actually the limited experience in different things. Art cards taking the place of tokens, right? In draft packs, you had a token in every single pack, and when you're playing limited at a pre-release and there's not enough tokens, it causes an issue, especially when your set utilizes cloak and disguise in every freaking card. Every freaking card. You have a battlefield, a playfield, and there's just cloaked and disguised things, and it's impossible to keep track of, and on top of that, you don't have the right number of tokens in your booster packs to go along with the set. This is the type of stuff that Wizards overlooked with the Play Booster Box. The list cards, also really confusing for players. This is like, you have a list card in Play Boosters now that was only in the set boxes in the past. So now you're drafting and you get a Strixhaven removal spell that is legal in your pre-release. And so you play this card against your opponent and they're like, what is that? And you're like, oh, this was a list card. I got this, I'm allowed to play it. And they're like, why can I play a Strixhaven card, but I can't play the pre-release promo that's within the pre-release box that says Murders at Karlov Manor on it? It's these little things that ruined the experience of the first experience with Play Boosters. And I think that those two things from a limited experience are going to go a long way. But then the kicker here is there's such a lack of reprints and value in this set. If you go back again to Lost Caverns of Ixalan, you had Mana Crypt, you had a really, really strong, set of the gods were really, really strong, that were really clear how powerful they were. You had really, really good, the dinosaurs, right? Like you just had really, really good cards that were straightforward, easy to understand, and people understood that they were going to be powerful and good. And then you flash forward to this set, and it's just so convoluted that maybe some cards will pop up. And I actually think there will be some cards that pop up in Murders of Karlov Manor that will be expensive cards down the road because people figure out how to play with them. But on the initial release, this set was just too convoluted and confusing for players. And so you're seeing the market just tank on all these cards. So now your first Play Booster experience, you're cracking open the box and you're getting nothing. You're just feeling like you got completely hosed. So you paid more money now, but you also get 6 more packs, right? So let's not be too dramatic about the expenses. You're paying more money, but you feel like you're not getting as good a value. And this is where it ruins the idea of Play Booster Boxes being a good experience. This set, in a nutshell, because this set was too complex, it ruined the value and understanding of what the Play Booster Box was. And a much better set for this would have been Lost Caverns of Ixalan. It's really disappointing because I don't think it's the typical things that you're hearing complaining about online. The money, right? Like, at the end of the day, most consumers can understand the value of getting 6 more packs. And the vast majority of consumers, by the way, buy 3 or 4 or 5 packs at the pack level. And our price on packs at Game Grove didn't change at all. We were $5 for set packs, we're $5 for Play Booster packs, right? Like that didn't change at all. And people who are buying boxes, they see the difference of 36 packs to 30 packs. So they're not worried about the price point. What they're worried about is that compared to Lost Caverns or Wilds of Eldraine with all these really great reprints and these really good things, they much rather put their money pack-to-pack basis on those sets rather than the Play Booster experience. And now we see this like miss on the Play Booster pack. So it'll be really interesting to see if they can turn this corner and sell these Play Boosters to us, especially like we do a ton of limited, and even our limited people are frustrated with the Play Booster experience as a result of the lack of tokens. So I really think they need to do is update the Play Boosters to include a token in every pack and an art card in every pack, rather than the art card replacing, because I saw some people online also complaining, this is wild, that they didn't get enough of the art cards. I don't think that that's really that big of a deal. I think that's a pretty low amount of people who care about the art cards, to be honest. Most people just end up throwing them in the trash. But from a play experience, you need these tokens when you're doing limited formats. You need them. You can't not have them. You need them. So it's a little disappointing to see where these Play Boosters were put out. But again, I want to go back to what the win is. The win for stores is less SKUs on the shelf is a huge huge deal. I feel way more secure in holding on to some play booster boxes because I know people are going to want to crack packs to get some stuff for standard as the set kind of increases in value and different things are figured out. They're going to want what were the set packs. I had no problem holding on to set booster boxes in the past because typically as a store you run out of set booster boxes after 2 or 3 weeks, at my store anyway, and then you have to reorder them. So I'm okay with having play boosters because I know that the people who do care about the set and the mechanics and the standard format stuff are going to open up the play boosters over time, whereas they wouldn't ever touch the draft boxes. So it's nice for me to have those play boosters in place of not having to worry about draft boxes, even though we're going to run events and that kind of thing. But from a consumer perspective, I totally get it. Like, man, this seems rough. This seems really rough. So let me know what your experience was with the play boosters in the comment section. At the end of the day, I think Wizards missed the mark by putting it in this set, or they should have given a little more oomph to this set. There needed to be that kind of thing that got people excited and wanting to open up boxes. Your Mana Crypt, right? Like, that's what it was for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. It drove people to opening up boxes. Wilds of Eldraine had the Smothering Tide. It had the, I think Doubling Season was in that, right? It had these cards that drove people to open up the packs. What is that? What is that in Murders? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And that's why people are going to look at this as a miss on play boosters. Hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. If you want to discuss all the stuff, do it in the comment section. Go to KitchenTableTCG.com, join the Discord server. We got some super cool stuff coming out. We streamed on Tuesday night. We streamed Lord of the Rings collector packs and some sorcery. We're going to do that again on Thursday night. So make sure you're in your Discord to figure that out. We've also got Kitchen Table TCG shirts and tokens coming out pretty soon. Hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.